Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining our team call tonight. I want to welcome all of you to the call. Thank you guys so much for joining, or if you're listening to it afterwards, thanks again for listening. Tonight we're going to talk about a few different things, but we're going to really concentrate on checklists and how to stay organized, whiteboards, all the different things that we as business builders need to keep everything completely organized. So someone just chimed in on, is there a call? I know we had a little mishap. The gentleman that I was going to do the call with tonight, unfortunately he got hurt. So he had to go to the doctor. So unfortunately, I was all excited and ready to go and worked through my nerves. It's like, Greta, you were talking about all weekend, right? You're really working through your nerves to get past these growth situations. And once I finally got myself really ready to speak to the entire company, it got turned off. Like, bummer. But now I feel like I'm completely ready for the next one when that comes up. So I guess I worked through it, right? That's the most important thing. Hey, Jody. Great picture today. That was absolutely fantastic. I love seeing that and your happiness and how you look. And you should feel slender because you are. Oh, you muted out. You unmuted and then muted out. Cool.
Were you talking to me, Stephanie?
I am.
I didn't have my sound on yet.
Okay. I was just complimenting you about your picture that you posted earlier. That was fantastic. And I'm so glad you feel that way because you really, truly look very slender and healthy and happy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So I have two legal assistants on the phone or on the call right now, and then an HR. So you guys are going to love tonight's call because it's all about organization. And Greta is the one that really helped us put a lot of this together. Greta and Raquel and I got together last week, and we just sat down and brainstormed what exactly do customers need and how can we keep them organized and not overwhelmed. And then what do we need as business builders to do to help them, to help you guys help them, but also to help you really, really get your business online. So Damon, I think you're going to really enjoy tonight because you've been asking quite a bit about checklists and organization and whiteboards. So I'm going to jump in, guys. There's a couple different things. So I'm going to kind of go over a little bit about what we started with. And once we have this perfected, we will send it out. Right now, it is still in draft form. So you're not going to get this in writing yet. But once we have it figured out, hopefully in a couple weeks, you guys will have it as a pure checklist. And we won't get through everything tonight. The most important thing, I think, is going to be you guys tell me. Let's do majority. Do you guys want to learn what does a brand new customer need to know or what does a new associate need to know in order to build their business? So anyone that really wants customer information, raise your hand.
Customer.
Okay. Customer. Anyone, and Damon, I can't see you. So anyone who wants associate, raise your hand.
Associate.
All right, well, let's try and do a little bit of both. Okay. So the first thing is and if you guys have questions, stop me, okay? And Greta, certainly chime in. So the first thing is we want them to have a great experience, right? If they have a great experience during their first 30 days, they're most likely going to stick with the program, stay with it, and continue. But so important to have that experience. And the biggest part of that experience is communication. So if we're not communicating with our customers during definitely their first 14 days, if not 30 days, it's most likely they're not going to continue and they're just going to walk away. It didn't really work, all that fun stuff that they say. So real important that you stay in contact with them. And I know there's a little confusion on matching effort with effort, but take that off the table during your customer or your brand new business builder's first 30 days. They don't know better. Okay, so you really have to be the one pulling and pushing and tugging and doing all of that. 60, 90, 120 days later, you match effort for effort. All right, but not their first 30 to 60 days. That is our responsibility to make sure that they're good. So the first thing we do, obviously, is enroll them, and then you want to send them a welcome letter. We have a team welcome letter right now. We're looking at possibly changing a little bit, but go ahead and continue with that welcome letter. It has all kinds of fun links and different things. The most likely, though, they are not pulling it up, and they're not opening it, and they're not looking at it. So you need to really, truly know that when you send that to them, you're not really doing your job. You're just doing a backup plan in case they are that type of person. Let's see a show of hands. How many of you opened up the welcome letter and really looked through it? Okay, so 3 out of 7. All right, I'm going to say that, 4 out of 7? Okay, because we got 2. And are you guys typically the type of people that dive in no matter what it is? Right? And then you will if you have time, or maybe not. So we got to look at it as the majority are not going to open that up, and they're not going to look at it. So send it to them, because some will. So make sure as you're going through the 30 days, you either refer back to that welcome letter and the different links, or you just continue to give them some of those different links at the appropriate times. And keep in mind, we have to match effort. I'm sorry, I don't want to say it this way. We have to treat them as a customer. There is such a big difference of treating them as a customer versus what we want, which is them to build, right? Until they push that button, until they tell you, and until you get the email from Isagenix saying so-and-so upgraded to a business builder, they are a customer. And that's how they want to be treated. And so we don't want to push the guns unless they let you and tell you to push me. So we just want to, hey, have you watched the video on, we're going to come up with our favorite videos, but my favorite videos are, I do like Dr. Ina, Greta does not, so we're going to kind of figure out which the best ones are, brainstorm on that. But the 30-day overall shake plan, the shake day, and the cleanse day, they're 3 separate videos, and they're a little overwhelming to watch all 3, but people are going to pick and choose what they want to watch, and they are all 5 minutes long. So send them stuff and ask them, did you get a chance to watch the video? What kind of questions do you have about that? Does that seem like something to fit into your lifestyle? Do you have any concerns about how to do this? And always remind them, and Damon just had this experience yesterday. He had someone quit or try to quit on the first day she started the program because it was overwhelming. So always make sure you know your customer by asking questions on what do they want out of this? Do they need something really routine and regimented, or do they really just want something very flexible? And this program can be either way, but we need to ask them, and so it's perfectly fine to ask them, what are you looking for? Do you want something where you have hour by hour and you know exactly what you're putting in your mouth and you have an outline to tell you? Or do you just want to make sure you get it in throughout somewhere in the day, it's real flexible to your schedule and it works for you? So no matter what your behavior is, we want to know their behavior and help them through it. All right, again, it's not about us, it's all about them. So we want to send them that welcome letter. In that welcome letter, it's going to have their ID number, their username, and their password. And if you're actually enrolling them, which is so much easier to do and it takes a lot less time, if they're enrolling themselves, and some leaders love to have people enroll themselves and some don't. So whatever you're wanting to do. I personally enroll them myself unless they don't want me to. Try to always stick with the same general way that you do your username and the general way that you do your password. You want to be able to get into their accounts if needed. You cannot hurt someone by getting into their account, but you can help them by placing extra orders for them, or if they need you to do something really quick, like last night I had to help someone become active and we had 9 minutes to do it before the end of the business day and she would have lost all of her Beebe. They just need you to check into something. They had some questions. But you can't hurt them because we do have to have their CVV in order to place an order on their credit card. And of course, you guys aren't going to do that anyways. So you kind of want to let them know that information. Then, of course, you want to plug them into your product group and plug them in. We're looking at doing a couple different things with that. What we're trying to do is really kind of pick apart what Trudy Maples and Tina Kirkpatrick and a lot of those girls are doing, because they're rank advancing so fast in the company, much faster than anyone else. And we have access to a lot of their information because they're on different trees of our tree, different branches. And so one thing that they do is have a welcome letter that's also typed and pinned in the product group. So we're not actually welcoming every single person in a separate, because they got overwhelmed with that. So good problem to have, right? You're getting too many welcomes and you're not getting enough product information. I don't know if our teams are quite there yet, but just kind of know you're going to see some differences coming up with that. But definitely put them in there, and you most definitely want to welcome them, whether it's in the new format or in the product group. People are going to feel so much more wanted if they're recognized. And when they have a group that has anywhere from 3 to 10 people welcoming them and giving that love, they're already feeling the community. They're feeling hugged. They're feeling wanted. How many of you were welcomed and felt really happy about having that welcome in there? Did that just kind of make you smile, right? So real important that us as a team and leaders are welcoming, and you guys are fantastic at it, but I have to throw that reminder out there. It's so important that we all play our part, whether they're on your team or not, doesn't matter. We all need to participate in that, because that is their first experience to making this work. Next, sometimes I'll ask them if they want to be plugged into other Facebook groups. And we have, of course, we have meal planning, we have our athletes, we have fitness pages, we have specific situations where if they want more information, we have that for them. Some people don't want to be overwhelmed. So you need to ask them first, how much information do they want, and do they want to be a part of more groups? I always suggest, though, that they participate, especially if they're really wanting great results. They're really wanting this to work. I mean, you guys know those customers. They tell you, I so want this to work. I really, really need this to happen. I need everything to change in my life, all that. The more involved they are in the product group, the more success they're going to have. So encourage them from the beginning to find their welcome post, and if they want to respond, to like and comment on the different posts, to ask questions to the group rather than just their sponsor, because it is a community, it's a family, and the more that they're involved, the more love they're going to receive, and that's when we have the retention. Many of you, when I asked that question probably about a month ago, what's your favorite thing about isagenix? I really did not expect the response that I got, but I would say probably about 85% of you guys, and there were a lot of people that responded to that one, said the family and the community. How many of you are here more or less because of the community? We all love the products, there's no question about that, but do you think that you're still here because of the community? Yeah, so we want to make sure everyone has that same exact experience. And when they just become little, and not everyone will want to be, so again, we have to ask them what they want, but if they really truly want to, suggest that they get very involved, because they'll feel more of it. All right, so then you want to, over the next couple of days after they get their box, you need to talk to them about what's inside that box, right? We don't want just a box showing up and then being like, what is this? So either do a Zoom call, FaceTime call, phone call, or meet them in person, whatever you have the ability to do and whatever they feel comfortable with. Either way, try to have either you or them grab a black Sharpie and write directly on the tops of the canisters what to do. It says on there what to do, but it's very small print. People may not be able to read it. But also when they write on something, there's high possibilities that they won't return it. All right? They can. The company will totally take it back. But in their mind, they're not going to return something that they wrote on. So let's get them to really think long term right away. And it's very simple then. They don't have to think. And we're kind of in a place in our world, and this was a part of 3 of my meetings yesterday, People don't want to think anymore. Their families are so crazy busy that the less they have to think, the better. So let's help them out. And you just write, whatever it is, 2 scoops with 8 ounces of water and ice, 1 scoop in the AM or AM and PM. And we can go over that more in detail if you have any questions about what to write. But take that out and walk them through that. That's a long phone call. All right, because you want to make sure you kind of go over a lot of stuff about that product, how they're going to feel, what to expect with that, what that product does. Don't get geeky on them as to the ingredients. That's not what they care about. What they care about is how to take it, when to take it, and possibly what it's going to do to them. And of course, answer their questions. They're also probably going to want to know what other foods to eat. This is a good time to really kind of take them through that, how much water they need to be drinking, how much protein they need to be eating. You also, if you're in person with them, that's a fantastic time to snap a picture of them so they have their before picture. They can use that for IsaBody or just to keep for later on. And we know people don't like to take that picture, but that picture is gold. And aren't all of you, who liked taking your before picture? Did anyone? Okay, who did not like taking their before picture? But aren't you so glad you have it now? And I don't know if any of you, a couple of you may have really thought you would do this as a business, but a lot of you did not. That was not your plan when you initially got your box. But using that before picture and your current picture is huge. So we just need to walk them through the steps. They don't know what's coming. You just say, hey, you're going to want this so that you can show your picture. Oh, that's awesome, Jody. You can have that, Angie roller coaster is a really good example. It took forever for her to take that picture. It was killing me because I'm like, just take it, because she wore baggy clothes for 30, 20 years, never wore anything tight. And she kept telling me that even though she's lost 30 or 45 or even 55 pounds, she didn't see it. And I'm like, Angie, all right, go find an old picture of you and take a current picture of you now. And tell me if you don't see that difference. Even when you look at that amount of weight, 30 to 55 pounds, you would think you would notice it, but she didn't. But once she did her side by side, she saw it. And even people, Erin, I don't think Erin is on right now, but Erin's like, I only lost 12 pounds. I'm like, Erin, hey, you're only 12 pounds. You tried to lose for years. How many people are out there that want to lose 5, 10 pounds, and it's going to make such a difference to them? So part of the measurements and the picture, these are some things we have to help them with. Okay, offer coaching emails. So if you're a part of ISA Tools, they have, where you're paying the $15 a month, they have a campaign that you can set up so that you can put them on different types of campaigns. You can do a product and business drip. You can do a 30-day coaching, weight loss, a 30-day business coaching. There's multiple things. You can also include yourself in there. This is something I did not know. You can include yourself in on theirs so that it will remind you to check in with them like every 4 days. Okay, I did not know about that one, so that was really cool. We all need reminders.
Another thing, Steph, too, during that time, I think it's a great time to add that 14-day talk.
Yeah.
That gets them prepped for what's about to happen, even before we start sending out those emails. And another thing, and someone just reminded me of this, is measurements. No one wants to measure themselves, just like they don't want pictures. But if we all remember, measurements are something that people lose all the time. Even when they think that they're at a plateau, they're still losing inches. So a lot of women I have kept on the program merely because I've made them remeasure and they've lost inches versus pounds. So that's another good thing. I just thought of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that 14-day talk is so important. We have it pinned in our group right now, but there's high chances that they're not reading it. You can send them the Tracy O'Malley 14-day talk video, or you just take them through it. It's another way for you to touch them. and let them know they're going to have ups and downs. It's perfectly normal. They're changing things about their lives. And even though people say they want to change things, they really truly don't want to change that much. Change is hard. So help them through all of that and let them know there are going to be days that they don't like you, but those are the most important days, cleanse days, that you're in touch with them. And again, you need to take on that responsibility. This is not, their first 30 days is not match effort for effort. This is you holding their hand, walking them through on the tour or being the tour guide, taking them through their vacation. Thank you so much for that, Greta. All right, also give them the product fast facts. And if you guys haven't looked that up, just Google it, isagenix fast facts, or it's in businessisagenix.com. You'll see it many different places. Quick little statements about each product so that they know what to expect. Because even though you're telling them how they're going to feel or what to expect with some of these, and always keep in mind, not everyone will feel what they should feel. So for an example, people that drop a ton of weight, and there's two different scenarios where this happens. Either they're extremely malnourished or they've got a lot of weight to lose. They're the ones that drop it really super fast. They usually don't experience the really good feeling and the energy and all of that because their bodies are working so hard that none of that happens in a quick time period. It can take some people a month to 2 months, to maybe even 3 months to have some of the things that a few other people experience right away. But we always want to remind them what most likely they're going to feel. Most likely they're going to have better sleep. Most likely they're going to wake up with more energy. Most likely they probably will have some more energy and just feel good all day. Hopefully they have less stress. They may or may not lose weight. And it's so important for us to not 100% focus on the weight loss because not everyone will have that weight loss. And they get disappointed when that scale does not move. And by the way, don't let them weigh themselves every day. You need to have that talk with them because that stresses people out. Just stepping on the scale or, does it move, does it not move? Get them to either throw it away or put it on vacation or check in with it once a week. But nothing more than that. If they're obsessed, and some of them will tell you that they are completely obsessed with looking at the scale, say, okay, you can look at it the day before you cleanse, the day after you cleanse, and the day after your second cleanse, and then put it away again until you cleanse. Do that scenario until you cleanse again, but don't look at it in between. Because they are going to be building muscle, and we know muscle weighs more, and it just messes with their psyche. So important. I didn't have that on our checklist, but we're going to have to add the scale talk. All right, what do we have on here? We want to introduce, and not all of this is in one day. I hope you guys know this. This is spread out. And when you get that checklist, we're going to kind of give you an idea when to do it. We're not going to tell you exactly because you've got to fit it in with your schedule and their schedule. But, every few days you're going to have different chats with them. And so you want to introduce IsaBody Challenge. How many of you are in IsaBody Challenge right now? Not everyone? Not everyone raised their hand. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. Take that as your moment of going, I can't tell anyone to do IsaBody if I'm not currently in it. So try to take your measurements and your pictures tonight or tomorrow, send those in, and then you can be like, cool, done. You also want to talk about healthy mind and body. Damon, huge supporter of Healthy Mind and Body. Can you just give me a 1-minute talk about what Healthy Mind and Body has done for you?
I think overall, obviously, just dealing with what I've dealt with the last couple of days with this individual that decided to hang it up within a, I think the big thing was for me, it is very mental. I think it's something that going through it, they talk a lot about mindset, energy. It was really good. It made me realize, that I can actually overcome a lot of my bad choices in food But I think overall it was, just a great program, start to finish, very motivational. And it got me thinking a little bit more into detail of what I was doing wrong and in the direction I was actually going to go ahead, with this.
Right. Thank you. And Damon's really only been with the company for 60 days. He's had a huge transformation, both with his mind and his body. He went through the original Healthy Mind and Body. He's now in the next Growth You program. And then just huge transformation overall. We don't know who's going to be interested in Healthy Mind and Body. We don't know when they're going to be interested. So talk about it up front. Let them hear you as to what it is, how much it costs, which of course, hopefully you guys all know, it's $40. And then when they complete it within 60 days, they get a $45 coupon back. Honestly, if they don't compute it, they're still going to get their coupon. All right. But we don't tell them that. But let them kind of help direct you as to what they need. But for those that are really having some mental issues, and the girl that wanted to cancel on her first day, that's mental issue. She needs a little extra help. So, suggest that, hey, we've got a personal development program. And, it really helps people to make better food choices and to change habits and unconsciously. So if this is something you want to look into, just let me know and I'll send you the link. And then you'll be notified when they start it. So you'll be able to kind of coach them through that and help them and ask questions, not every day, but just maybe once a week, check in with them and find out how they're doing with that. All right, let's see. Oh, next is, you want to just kind of, our new associate checklist, we're going to split that up. One for the first page is all about customers and the rest of it's for business builders. So the first page, you're just kind of getting to know their goals. What do they want? What's their whole purpose in doing this? Are they weight loss, better health, athletic? How can you help serve them better? And the only way you're going to know that is by asking them. So you want to print that out, that first page. And then make sure somewhere within the first couple of days, if not the first day, and then intermixed throughout the 14 days, that you do a little bit of the you share, they share with them, so that they know they can get discounts and coupons on their product. They know that they can possibly get free vitamins. They know that they can share this with other people and receive from that. You don't have to make a huge deal about it unless they give you a clue. And any way that they respond is a clue, right? Unless they tell you, I don't want anything to do with that. If they're listening or if they ask any type of question, they're probably interested in knowing a little bit more. So you just give them little pieces of information and ask them, would you like me to send you a video to help explain that more so you can see the visual of how this works? Some people are going to come in right away. How many of you guys came in right away knowing that you wanted to share this with other people? Okay, half of you. All right, so we don't know unless we ask. We don't know what people are interested in, and they don't always tell us the truth. So know that. Just always going to keep that in mind. You've got to be really good at kind of asking questions and seeing through them as to what they want. But little tiny things. One way, if you're a little nervous about telling them any of this or sharing that information, is you can just make the statement, I am obligated to tell you that you can receive coupons or cash by sharing this with other people. So if you're a little nervous, that's a really easy way of breaking open the ice. Crystal dates, we're not doing that yet. All right, then you definitely want to schedule a 3-way call with someone on the team just to do a little welcome. Again, someone that might be either like an influence to them or an inspiration to them, or someone that maybe they really kind of want to watch because their stories are similar. Obviously, talk to that other person and just see if you can schedule a 5 to 10 minute at the max 3-way call. And just so that other person can say, hey, welcome to the team. So glad you're here. Are there any questions I can answer for you? I'll watch you in the Facebook group. I'm so excited for you. And if you guys, who of you guys would be willing to do that for other people? Awesome. Okay. You guys all have incredible stories. So first of all, I want you to really, truly know that all of you have incredible stories. All right? And someone wants to hear your story. So we'll just kind of make sure we know who has what story. All right, cool. Let them know what's available. So we want to make sure that they know what's available, that they know that tonight is available. Our team calls, that they know that different events are available anywhere in the country, that tasting parties are available, and that definitely that they know about podcasts. We have so many podcasts that are going to be on product, on health, and the business too. So there is so many options for them to keep themselves educated, and all the different Facebook groups that they can really get a lot of information themselves. You're just there to hold their hand and support them, motivate them, cheerlead them on, and answer their questions as well. All right, Greta, what am I missing, or what else should we cover about the customer?
That's perfect. I can't think of anything else as far as a customer goes, right? Because we're just customers.
Correct. Okay, questions from you guys. Any questions about anything with the customer, anything that's come up that
you know, I'd like to add something about the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing to paint a picture for them, because again, they're coming to us, they're new, maybe they won't see this, but if they're complaining about maybe not having enough sleep, or maybe not sleeping is normal to them, so we can maybe say something like, there's also some non-skill victories, like you'll have better sleep, you might have a better, you might have improved mood, you know, you'll have more clarity. I think a lot of times when we paint that picture at first to them, then it clicks like, oh, you know what? I'm always up at like 2, 3 in the morning. I can't sleep. Okay, great. And they'll have that in their forefront. And that's something that I've been telling people, and it's been a game changer.
It really is. Thank you so much for that, Annie. And
you know, I think add that into that 14-day talk, you know, Annie, because I think that's where I sort of get that right in there, you know, because you say you might not like me because they are going to feel maybe a little off, or maybe not. But then when things start looking better, your skin looks better, you're sleeping at night, you've got more energy, you know, and then I sort of put that all in that little talk, and that's exactly, paint that picture for them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's good.
Good. And that's real important to kind of bring that out when you do have the conversations with them. And especially if you start to feel like they're a little disappointed, or they're bothered, or they're not losing as much weight as they want to. We've got to remind them of all the great things that are happening. And that's where that really comes into play. So if you ask a lot of questions and they give you that information, write it down, or if you have a super good memory, and you know that, then remember that. You know, like if someone's like, I can't believe that I'm not drinking soda anymore. That's so cool. And then they come to you later on and they're like, well, I've only lost 10 pounds. I was expecting to lose more. You can come in, but remember how you're not drinking soda anymore, and aren't you really feeling the effects, the more sleep and just better and better energy from that soda? That soda really brought you down. Soda's a hard habit to break, but you've got so many things in this program that help you to break those bad habits. So we got to constantly remind people of all those health benefits, because some people are so focused on that scale moving that they forget all of the other great things. Now, also, as far as getting that scale to move, I want you guys to always know that I'm just going to point out Greta and I on this one. I'm going to say Greta and I are pretty big experts on helping to get that scale to move. So when they think that the scale's not moving and they've hit a plateau, or, you know, they give you all those little excuses that sometimes they do, you need to get Greta or I on the phone right away, immediately. We will help put them at ease, we'll calm them down, and we're going to give them some tips. And we know we have enough experience and enough information where we know we will be able to get them past something. There's no doubt.
And you know what a great question, I just recently started asking this is, so tell me, what do you think your percentage-wise last week, how were you? Were you at 90% following it? Were you at 95%? So it sort of gives them a chance to sort of tell on themselves. Because if I say, did you get all your water in? Yes. Did you eat healthy? Yes. Before I even can answer or ask them, they're yes. But if I say percentage-wise, how do you think you did? A lot of the times they'll say, I could have done a little bit better, maybe 70%. Then you can start to break down things with them to say, okay, what part of that 30% is what's missing? Sometimes they don't know, but sometimes they do. So I like the percent. It gives them a little cheat.
I've never added that, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for that. Because then we were giving them, they need some skin in the game. They have to do their part too, and sometimes they really, truly don't think that they're not putting 100% in until we pick it apart like that. So that's fantastic. All right, great. Any other comments, questions, or concerns, or anything about helping a brand new customer? And again, all of this is going to come to you when we get it all figured out with the attachments and everything. We'll get it out.
I have one question, Stephanie. I have a customer who had the bad stomach problems, not diverticulitis, but something else, ulcerative colitis. And her doctor pushes, of course, another product. And so he's dissing the isagenix. But when she took the isagenix, she felt fantastic and she was losing weight. But her doctor continues to push, you need to get off of that and get on this that he's selling in his office, because the sugar content in isagenix is just way too high and it's too many calories. I've showed her everything I can think of to show her about why our bodies need sugar, and that you are not getting a full meal replacement if you don't have sugar, and that, you know, it's only the content of an apple kind of thing. And I actually sent her all of the science on this stuff, and she still continues to listen to this, what I consider a yahoo, because he's not doing her any favors. He's promoting himself, not a good nutrition for his client.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Of course, he may feel the same about me, but I think he's wrong.
Right, exactly. And I was laughing because Greta actually had that same exact experience. When you first started, your doctor did not like sugar content in our isolines. So here's what happened with Greta. And Greta was my first experiment with this. And not that you guys like being experiments, but sometimes that's what happens. But she was the first person to really kind of do that with me. And she was coming from the diabetic, and her doctor, you know, looking at the sugar content. Sometimes people aren't going to get past that. And unfortunately, there's nothing else we can do, Jody. But what happened with Greta is, I'm like, that's fine. Let's switch it over. Let's do the IsaPro, which has 1 gram of sugar and 1 carb. And so Greta's like, okay, all right, I'll take that out. And what happened in like 2 to 3 days later, Greta? What did you say? Do you remember?
Well, I just went back in and told him that I went back in and had results, right? So once I had results, he said, wow, and you know what he told me to drink is that Premier shake from Costco, that cheap, can I say it? Shit. And so when I had results and came back in, you know, he was like, wow, see, that Premier's working. And I think I let him think that for a couple visits until the results were so amazing. I finally shared with them. And then, you know, eventually he signed up with the products too. But, you know, sometimes it just takes them a time to believe it. But I don't know what her story is, but it's hard when you've got a doctor who's degreed and someone that's in the medical field. It's a hard sell. She's got to be wanting to try something, or the stuff she's tried with the doctor just hasn't worked for her. You could always do a 3-way call with her with someone that maybe has a similar story. That might be something to try. Just a thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. And with all that, that's exactly how that went down. But the interesting thing is when Greta did the IsaPro, she came back to me. I don't know if you remember, but I remember. But she's like, that stuff sucks. I want to go back on the isoline. That tasted so much better. And because that's what worked for me and I liked it better. So sometimes they just have to do that. We've got another girl who is so focused on the sugar. The day she came over to get her pack, said the exact same thing, and it's always been sugar, 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 sugar since then, no matter what we've done. She stopped using isagenix. She went out and bought something else that didn't have less, that had less sugar. And I'm like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, buy our IsaPro that has 1 gram of sugar, and then you can compare. And you're still sticking with the system. You're just following your needs for sugar. So I obliged her, and then we'll just let her figure out what she likes. Okay, all right. So we're not going to go over the full checklist for associate because it's long, it's very detailed. And here's how this is going to work, guys. So many of you have already been here for a long time, and so many of you are ready for so much more. But the way we're going to work with each individual is when they hit that upgrade button and they tell you, I'm ready to share this with other people, then we begin, and we begin immediately, right? Because they're interested. But we're just going to give them one thing at a time. So we're going to let them really experience that one thing, become really good at it so that they understand it, can comprehend it, and possibly train someone else on it. And then as soon as they feel comfortable with that, we move on to the next thing, and same exact thing. So it's all in different chunks. What I think we probably have done, and I apologize for this because that's me, is just giving too much information all at once. Rather than just helping people become really super good at one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. So the first thing to do is to go over why do they want to share, okay? Why do they want to tell other people about this? So they're going to tell you all kinds of different things. Either they want free product, which we're really trying to not say free product anymore because they get coupons or cash, right? So they can buy their products with their coupons and receive it for free that way, or they get cash and they can use it however they want. Or they like to help people, or they just believe in it, and they're passionate, you know, whatever it is. But take good notes on that. Then you want to make sure you do the business associate interview, and that's going to give you a ton of information. Guys, that interview is super long and it's very detailed. You don't have to ask every question. When I've gone through that interview, it usually takes an hour, and they're bored and I'm bored. So just kind of pick what is needed and what you think they're going to want to share with you that's going to make a difference for their future. Business goals, we have to figure out their specific goals. If you don't know their goals, they don't know their goals, you can't help them with their goals. So you really have to know that. Don't say anything. Just let them spill their goals, okay? We don't have to bring reality into play because they're visualizing right now. They're dreaming. They want the world. Let them. And we don't know who can accomplish all of that. So it's not our place to say, well, that may or may not happen. Or that may or may not happen that quick. We don't say anything. Just write down their goals. Ask questions, write down their goals. Next is, do they want their products paid for, or do they want the cash? Which really that just kind of comes into play. And then create a home business. Do they want to create a home business? Do they want a lot of income, or are they just looking to get their products paid for? This is the moment when you need to talk about the crystal rank. Within a couple days of them upgrading to an associate, you need to go over that crystal rank with them because their clock starts ticking the moment they press that button. So they need to know about consultant, crystal manager, crystal director, and crystal executive so that they can plan it out. You need to write down their dates. If you're keeping a whiteboard, and we'll talk, if we have time, talk about the whiteboard, but that should be written down on the whiteboard if they're your business associate. I know Christine and Mary Kay are working on their whiteboards right now. Damon and I think, and Aaron, you might be too. It's good to have one for customer and one for business builders. So they're two different things. So for customers, it's good to have their name, the date they enrolled, what pack they enrolled on, and when their auto ship is. For associates, the date they actually enrolled as an associate. I don't know if I necessarily do their auto ship date, but that's not a bad thing if you have space. But there are their crystal ranks, and then if you have space, some of their first beginning people of who they've enrolled, because most likely, and you should be helping them coach their first few people. definitely their first 3 to 5 people, without a doubt, you should be involved with. So make sure you talk about crystal ranks. And then make sure they're a part of our business page. Again, welcome them, add them in there. And then we start isagenixbusiness.com. All right, so now we're going to have them really focus on having them do some work. This is where you somewhat meet effort for effort, but again, their first 30 days, you're not. Still the first 30 days, you're holding their hand and you're taking them on a tour guide. 60, 90, 120 days, match effort for effort. But they need to know the comp plan. And so if they focus on the isagenixbusiness.com, it will say start here, and it takes them through a list of really every single thing they need to know about this business and company, the comp plan, scripts, dialogue, objections, who do you know, videos, all of that. I walk them through it. It's about 10 hours. And I tell them, great, start here, about 10 hours. You don't have to understand it completely because we're going to be going through it, but go through the whole thing. Tell me when you're done. All right, and then their job to come back to you. And then when they come back to you at that point, make sure they really understand the compensation plan. This is what we talked about last week. So important to know that comp plan, because if we don't understand it, we get nervous mentally in our heads, and we get nervous that we may not want to share the program with anyone, because what if they ask us those questions and we don't know the answer? Has anyone ever felt that way? No one's felt that way? All right, well, that's good. All right, great. That can happen, though. So then we give them a couple videos. And again, after they watch the videos, they let you know, I watched the videos. Great. What stood out to you? What concerns do you have? What questions do you have? What directions are you focusing on? And we'll come up with a few different videos, but obviously the compensation video of you share, they share is definitely going to be a part of that. Next is making a contact list, 10 to 30 people. They don't have to do their full 100 unless they're that type of people. And I think with a few of you, I had you do your first 100 people because you're ready. You're ready to rock and roll. But not everyone is ready to rock and roll like that. So 10 people, 20 people is a lot for someone to think about. So kind of figure out what their needs are. And then offer to do 3-way calls or Zoom call, FaceTime, preferably where the person can see you and you can see them. Preferably do that with their first top 10 people. They need to hear how you speak to the customers. They need to hear how you handle the objections. They need to hear that. And maybe they have no idea what to say, or they're so nervous that they don't want to call. Just come in and take care of that. And they're probably going to be calling people who want to lose weight, who want to feel better, who want the same things that they wanted when they first started. So you guys can all have that conversation. But if you don't feel comfortable, bring in another team member. Any of us, we've been more than happy to. All right. All right. Next is learn how to share and set them up for success. So this is something that and then we'll stop after this section. But we were just talking about this earlier, creating a vision board. Anna worked on hers yesterday. Christina and Mary Kay are working on theirs right now. Who else has been either working or finished your vision board? All right, awesome. Very good, Damon. All right. Daphne, you jumped on. We were talking about your vision board earlier, Daphne. When you get a chance, if you can snap a picture of that and put that into Game Changers Biz, Daphne turned her vision board into a piece of art. It's like 3 by 5 feet. It's huge, it's massive, it's beautiful. And as soon as you walk into her place, you see it. So it's a conversation starter. She sees it, it's in front of her. It's just so much, it's beautiful. It takes effort and time, but if you guys ever want to do that, I'm in. I want to do it for my new office. But whatever you have, if you want to do the cutout magazines, if you want to print things out, if you're in Growth U, he'll ask you to do it online. However you want to do it, just do something is the most important thing. And if it's important for you to get your family involved, get your family involved. Learn what your children want from you. You're going to be taking time away from your family to do this. So the more they know they're involved or they're going to receive from you spending time away from them, the better. So if they ever complain and they're like, oh, mommy, daddy, you're never around me anymore. I don't get much time with you, which of course is not the case, but they say that. You can say, you know, honey, I worked an extra hour during isagenix today so that we as a family could go on a vacation or whatever it is that they're looking for. And just constantly bring that back because it will happen. Next is you have to know your why, or our brand new associates need to know their why. It's really hard to spend extra time when you're already working, you have a family, you've got other things going on, if you don't know why, really, truly why you're doing this. But I don't want to have anyone overthink that either, because some people spend so much time trying to figure out what their why is that they can't get past it. Just figure out what is your why right now, and then maybe what is your why long term. That's where vision boards kind of help you to figure that out. Just why is it real important for you to do this right now? And create your 30-second story. So this is a part of isagenixbusiness.com, but you've got to be able to tell your story. Real important, whether it's typed in text on Facebook or you're telling it in person to someone or on the phone, you've got to know your story. And the more you know it, the quicker you can tell it, the more defined it is, the more people will hear you. But what's really important to remember is it really isn't about your story. It's about their story. Your story's just helping them think. Your story's just giving them opportunities in their head that this actually works. But you've got to know that story. All right, then we start making Facebook posts. And we start helping people to really learn how to post, what to say, what to do, the do's, the don'ts. We're going to come up with all of that for you. But obviously doing your before and after pictures and your story. I'm going to pick on a couple of you right now. Damon and Mary Kay in particular, and Jody, just did their story like this week. Jody might have been last week. But how successful was that for you emotionally, mentally, and then also for a business to do that story? Anyone want to speak? Go ahead, Mary Kay.
Okay, thank you. So I find it very interesting because as I posted, I think I even said I had no intentions of doing this really to produce any results. I was doing it to do it with my wife and encourage her because she kept saying, you need to do this, you need to do this, it's amazing. And I did see the results with her. So I was like, okay, you know, I didn't really feel like I needed to lose weight, but as you know, Stephanie, I was gung-ho about the AMP line. And Christina presented it to me in such a way where I needed to detox my body, do the cleanse, do the 30-day system, and then do the AMP line. I was like, makes total freaking sense. Anyone with any type of goals and a nutrition background knows that makes perfect sense. But not everyone knows that. So I did, and literally just out of the blue, I didn't do any measurements. I didn't even weigh myself beforehand. I did nothing like that. I just said, you know, I've been doing this for a minute. My pants feel kind of loose. Wonder what I weigh. And I jumped on the scale, and I was like, oh my gosh, at least 7 pounds, if not more, in less than a month. Gone. So I posted it. I posted the picture of me standing on the scale, and I said just that I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And who doesn't want that? You know what I mean? I wasn't even trying and I got it. So I can only imagine for those that are actually trying. So I just keep saying, you're going to love this product. This is going to work for you. I had a client just signed up today, reached out to me because of my post. She's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And she signed up today. So I'm all about it.
Fantastic. Great. Damon, you just did yours.
Yeah, I just did mine. I think I had over 200 likes and about 40 comments. So I did it because I don't know. I think I blacked out when I did it. So it was one of those things where I'm like, I was typing it up. I'm like, send. I'm like, what did I just do? No, not a good thing. But no, it actually was a really good thing. Like I said, I got about 40 comments this morning. I sat down before anybody got up, and from a business standpoint, just kind of reached out to everyone that commented to me. So I'm waiting for replies. Hopefully I get some here in the next couple of days. I know I'm probably on Facebook a lot more than the normal person, but no, it was from a standpoint, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to jump out. and as I said, get on the end of the limb and just do it. So I did it, and I think overall it was pretty good.
Good, thank you. So you accomplish a lot of stuff. For one, it helps you to, it can be embarrassing, but you show other people your vulnerability. And that's so important for people to know as you're building this business and you're doing a lot of social media, that you're also vulnerable. They need to know where you started. They needed to know that your end result was not your beginning result. Even if they know you and see you and all of that, it's important for them because everyone has their story. Everyone has their beginning point. And so you'll reach them emotionally. Also, from an emotional standpoint, just raise your hand. Did you guys feel so good when you had all these people comment and like and say something to you? And that just really helps you to feel great, doesn't it? So important. Also because people need to be loved. All right, so many people are dying to feel loved. And when they see that you're getting all of that love, maybe I can get that too. Maybe if I do this, the same thing will happen. You know, people think all kinds of different ways. So your story, your vulnerability is so important to show other people what is possible for them as well. So cool. All right, guys. So that's the beginning of a new associate. There's so much more to go with that. But again, we'll do step by step, become really good. isagenixbusiness.com, 3-way calls, the compensation plan, and Facebook posting, social media. Questions, comments, anything. Loretta, anything to add to that?
No, I think that's really great. I think, though, that now we should almost set up, I've got my business hat on, right? We should set up next week's call, Steph, in the sense of saying, maybe we pick a couple people or volunteer to really say, I'm going to go out there and learn that 14-day call, or I really want to be the person that can share the, you share, they share, repeat, and do something like that too. But that's pretty much, there's so much more, guys, that I think that just is a really great high-level overview of everything. You can dive deep into each of those areas.
Cool. Okay. So let's do that. I think that's fantastic. So, and you can either say it right now or private message or put it in the group, whatever you can do. But let's have someone teach the group how to do the 14-day talk. Let's have someone teach the you share, they share, and someone teach how to do some Facebook posts. How's that sound?
Yep. I'll come up with some Facebook dialogues. I got a list of some from a friend who's really rocking the business, and so I'll share some of those too.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you want to obligate yourself, when you obligate yourself, just like I did with the company, and all that nervousness and that scariness happens, but then all of a sudden, you're like, I really do know what I'm talking about. And that confidence level will happen where you're never going to be afraid to talk to anyone else. So by taking this on, you're only bettering yourselves and giving yourself that confidence.
Right. We'll do the 14-day talk.
Isn't next week July 4th though?
Okay, yeah, so we won't do next Tuesday. I don't want to take away our momentum. So if you guys are interested, we can look at maybe scheduling it for Wednesday night rather than Tuesday. Let me know. Private message or put it in the group if you guys want to reschedule because we're on such a huge momentum.
What about Monday?
What's that?
Would Monday be an option? Only because
I wouldn't do Monday because there's so many celebrations still going on Monday. A lot of the city does fireworks on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. Good thought. I'll put it out there. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll go with majority. Or if you guys just say right now, hey, everyone in for next Wednesday? Does that work for everyone?
Yep. We'll be in California.
Is there anyone that doesn't work for?
We'll be in California. We'll be driving in the morning, so we should be able to jump on the call at 6. So that shouldn't be a problem. Okay,
cool. I'm available. Okay, everyone else is good?
Yeah.
All right, let's plan on Wednesday, July 5th. Okay, cool. So the 14-day. Anyone want to train on, what else did we want? You share that.
Yeah.
Or any part of the comp plan.
I could do that one because I'd like to learn more about it.
Excellent.
So
any part of the comp plan that you need to learn, Jody, okay?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And that's exactly how you guys want to go into it. What do I need to learn? Awesome. All right, great. Anything else that you guys want to talk about either from tonight or anything else that's coming up? Okay, before we get off, June Boom, we've got a few more days. Friday's our deadline. Quite a few of you are working on getting your 8 to 10. I'm just going to tell you, my husband doesn't speak a lot. He's a man of very few words. And I told him about a few of you who are extremely close, and he's like, they have to. This isn't an option. They have to make that happen. So if you have 5 or 6 that you've enrolled right now, you need to work your butt off to make that happen. This is a free room at the Venetian. It's worth $1,200. There's going to be perks. There's going to be all kinds of exciting things about it. Do not focus on this. You've got to focus and make this happen. All right. If you need ideas, if you need suggestions, you need to brainstorm about it, just say something. But if you have that 5 or 6 people, you need to make it happen. All right.
If you need 3-way calls.
So that what?
If you need 3-way calls, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, make it happen, guys. $200 if you have 5 to 7 people, $200 plus the room for 8 to 9 people, and 10, and I know a couple of you are working on the 10, you get all of that, plus a special event with Jim and Kathy. And I really want you to understand, Super Saturday, I don't know, we had maybe 400 or 500 people there, I'm not quite sure, but they stated who has already earned the room, the 8 to 9 people or more. There were only 8.
What we do.
All right. So when they do that event with Jim and Kathy Cooper, it's going to be so special. Very, very special. It's not something of, oh, we get to meet Jim and Kathy. No, you are going to get red carpet treatment. They go way out of their way. So focus, work hard on that. Remember, great advancements don't just happen. You work your butts off to make them happen. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end tonight. Thank you, guys. It's such a great night. Thank you guys all so much for this. We're going to continue to work on it. We'll get this done. If you have any thoughts or any ideas, just pass it on. Thank you for all your participation. And I'm excited to just continue to watch you guys explode. This is fun stuff.
Bye.
Bye, Stephanie.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
guys. Have a good night.
You too. I don't know if I got off that thing, but I think I did.
I'm still on looking at messages. If anyone needs anything, I'm here.
How do I get off?
Thank you,
How do I know?
Sarah. You're so sweet.
You have to leave it.
Yeah, well, I
There's a
didn't.
thing that says leave.
I shows no apps up, but I'm still clearly on there.
Sarah, I'll get you that welcome letter link.
So you go to Zoom.
Oh my
Go
God.
to YouTube. Yes, part. Okay. I'm still here. Does anyone if you're still on, does anyone need anything?
No, I just didn't know how to leave the group.
All right. Just making sure. You got me at the moment. So just want to make sure. I can leave everyone, or just so you know, at the bottom it will say leave.
Yeah, I see it now. I'm slow, sorry.
All right, I'm going to send out a couple things. If you guys need me, you know I'm here. See you guys.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.